First, let's go to the Regions landing page. You can do this by finding Region in the menu navigational bar and clicking. This is the Regions section, where you can explore a wealth of data about a region's economy and business environment. The entry point into the Regions section is this national map. You can use the controls in the left menu to change the type of data displayed by the shading on the map. The controls include Economic Indicator category, Economic Indicator, Start and End Years and Region Type, which are State, Economic Area, Metropolitan and Micropolitan Statistical Areas, as well as counties. An economic area, or EA, is an economically defined geographic unit of analysis by the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis. EAs are made up of counties. There are a total of 179 EAs, and many cross state borders. A metropolitan or micropolitan statistical area, or MSA, is a geographic entity defined by the White House Office of Management and Budget based on the U.S. Census Bureau data. An MSA consists of one or more counties surrounded by core urban areas. A metro area contains a core urban area of 50,000 or more in population, and a micro area contains an urban core of at least 10,000, but less than 50,000. A city is often a major part of an MSA. Please refer to the glossary of terms in the About section for more information on these types of definitions and more. There are over 50 economic indicators, which we have divided into 3 categories: performance, business environment, and demographics and geography. The Economic Indicator drop-down menu provides some examples of significant indicators in each category. Please know that we use the latest data available for any given indicator. The U.S. Census Bureau's County Business Patterns dataset is an annual series that provides subnational economic data by industry. Many of our indicators are sourced from here and are explained in more detail on the Data Sources and Limitations page in the About section of this website, which you can get to from the navigation bar at the top of this page. Aside from exploring this national map, you can navigate into individual regions by clicking on a region, which will make the map zoom in. In this zoomed-in state, you can click on other nearby regions to gradually move around the map. If you click a second time on a particular region, you will zoom back out to view the national map again. When you click on a region and zoom in, a pop-up box will appear on the right that contains a few key economic data points, as well as a link to go to that region's dashboard of data. Let's look at the region dashboard for the Denver, Colorado economic area. Each region dashboard is organized by clickable tabs: Summary, Performance and Drivers, Cluster Portfolio, Subregions, and Organizations. The Summary page shows a preview of the content available on each of these tabs. The map we see here allows us to look at the broader region surrounding the Denver, Colorado economic area, or the counties allows us to look at those counties within it. You can change the region type using the drop-down menu. Below the map is a preview of the Performance and Drivers tab, which provides data on the performance and key drivers of the region's economy. These spark lines depict key economic figures and changes in growth for the Denver, Colorado economic area. Each one links out to a scatterplot, which I will show you when we go to the Performance and Drivers page. Below this is a preview of the Cluster Portfolio tab, which identifies the strongest traded clusters in Denver, shown in alphabetical order. We can define strong clusters as the clusters that have high employment specialization in a region. You can learn more about this in the glossary in the About section. Next is a pie chart of the share of traded versus local clusters in Denver, as well as a bar chart on the top traded clusters by employment. There is also a link at the bottom to go to the Cluster Portfolio page, which contains additional data. Below this is a link to the Subregions page that provides wage and employment data on the counties in Denver. At the very bottom of the summary page, there is specific information on related organizations, related blog posts, and related resources that have been added to the site and are related to this region. You can register on the site for free using the registration button on the top right of the navigation bar, and you may add a related organization, blog post, or resource yourself and apply regional and cluster tags as appropriate. For example, if your edition is relevant to Denver, Colorado, you can tag it accordingly and it will populate on the relevant pages. This section will continue to grow as more registered users add their organizations and contribute to the site. Now, let's go to the Performance and Drivers tab and page. At the top is a diagram that illustrates how we have framed Denver's economic performance and shows how the three main categories, performance, business environment, and demographics and geography, relate to each other. These are the same categories that were on the initial national map. We then outline a sparkline of indicators for each category. Here you will see a legend for how to interpret the numbered ranks and colored circles on each sparkline. If you click on any sparkline, you will link to a full-page scatterplot. For instance, clicking on employment will result in a graph of the comparative employment performance of Denver compared to other economic areas. You can interact with and customize the chart to display different ranges of years. The chart is defaulted to 1998 to 2011, but you can change the start and end date by hovering over 1998 or 2011 and horizontally moving the arrow resized cursor that appears. To zoom in on a part of the chart, hover over the chart and use the crosshair cursor to drag and select a box around the part that you want to zoom in on. You can also click on any of the region circles for more information about the region and a link to that region's dashboard. In addition, you can download an Excel spreadsheet of the data underlying the chart by clicking on this button at the top left. You can also capture an image of the chart you have customized by clicking on the landscape button next to it. Each of these charts has a unique URL that you can link to and share. Next is the cluster portfolio page. Here, you see that a chart illustrating the top clusters in Denver based on national performance indicators, including employment, wages, job creation, specialization, and innovation. There is also a timeline visualization which displays employment and number of establishments by traded cluster over time. The Employment tab populates the bar chart of employment by all traded clusters in the Denver economic area. You can interact with and customize the chart to display different years. By clicking on a year at the top, the chart will automatically update to reflect your selection. On any of the bar charts, clicking on a bar will give you more detailed information about a cluster, as well as links to a specific dashboard of data for that specific cluster. You can also switch your view to local clusters by clicking on the Local button on the right. In addition, you can download an Excel spreadsheet of the underlying data as well as an image. Each of these charts, again, has a unique URL that you can link to and share. Similarly, these viewing features are also available on the Wages tab and the Job Creation tab. The Job Creation chart, however, allows you to select a range of years to look at the absolute number of jobs gained or lost for the specific cluster, like we saw in the Comparative Employment's Performance Scatterplot. The chart is defaulted to 1998 to 2011, but, again, you can change the start and end years by hovering over 1998 or 2011 and horizontally moving the arrow resized cursor that appears. If you click on the Specialization tab, you will see a scatter plot that measures Denver, Aurora, Boulder's national employment share by traded or local cluster against its region's change in national employment share by traded or local cluster. To zoom in on any part of the chart, hover over the chart and use the crosshair cursor to drag and select the part of the chart that you want to zoom in on. You can always click on any of the cluster circles to find more information about that cluster and a link to the cluster's dashboard. As with previous tabs, you can adjust the range of years, download the data or image using the buttons at the top left, and switch between traded and local clusters using the buttons on the top right. The Timeline tab displays a graph illustrating employment and number of establishments by traded cluster over time. You can switch between these two options by clicking on the Employment Established buttons on the top right. Each portion of the graph represents a specific traded cluster, and the graph itself displays change over time within each cluster. You can click on any portion of the graph for more information about a specific cluster and a link to that cluster's dashboard. Finally, the Innovation tab displays a scatter plot that measures the Denver, Aurora, Boulder region's share of national utility patents awarded by cluster against the change in this region's share of national utility patents awarded by cluster from 1998 to 2011. Similar to previous tabs, this chart provides viewing functionality that allows you to zoom in and/or adjust the range of years in which you are interested. You can also click on any of the cluster circles for more information about the cluster and a link to that cluster's dashboard. If you scroll down, you will see the top traded clusters in the Denver-Aurora-Boulder region. When you click on any of the cluster circles, you will see the number of people employed in this cluster within this region, as well as a link to the region's cluster dashboard. Scrolling down further, you will see that we will soon have a visualization displaying the relatedness of clusters in this region, as well as a table summarizing the patenting performance of this region. Finally, at the bottom of this page, you will see a table listing the number of patents awarded by organization in the Denver-Aurora-Boulder region for that given range of years. You can change how the data are sorted in ascending, descending order by organization or year by clicking on the column headers. Next is the subregions page, which shows you the comparative wage performance and comparative employment performance of different areas. The map at the top allows you to view these data by economic area using the drop-down menu and a link to the region's dashboard. Below are two scatter plots displaying the annual wage performance of all the countries in the Denver-Aurora-Boulder economic area, as well as their comparative employment performance. You'll see that these have similar interactive features to the scatter plots described previously. Finally, there is the organizations page, which takes you to a separate page showing all the organizations added to the site that have been tagged as being related to Denver. This list is user-driven and therefore will continue to grow over time. Again, you can add an organization by clicking on Add Organization on the top right, or clicking the Community button on the navigation bar at the top of each page, and then View Organizations. I'd now like to point out a useful new tool that allows you to compare data between or among regions. If you scroll to the top of any region's dashboard page, you will see a Compare Region tab on the top right. When you click that tab, you can search for a second region by name, zip code, or keyword. Please note that counties are the smallest geographical area for which we have data. So if you type in a zip code, the search will pull data for the county where that zip code is located. If you begin on Denver, Colorado's region dashboard, for example, and type in Casper, Wyoming in the Compare Region box, you can click one of the various region types for Casper from the list that drops down. You will then link to a page showing comparative data for the two regions for a set of traded clusters and performance indicators. If you would like to save this comparison, or if you would like to add another region to the comparison, click the Edit Comparison button at the top right. Type in a name for the comparison you are creating and search for any additional regions you wish to add. You can compare up to 10 at a time. Once you are satisfied with your selection, click Save. Your custom comparison will be saved under your user profile and will have its own URL, which you may share with colleagues, but will not be made public on the site. The bar chart for the comparison you have created initially defaults to the first 5 traded clusters from the complete list in alphabetical order, but you can delete these and/or add others using the Edit Comparison button. You can choose up to 10. You can select to view data on this bar chart for employment, wages, or job creation by clicking the buttons at the top of the page. You may choose the year you would like to view from the timeline at the top, and you can view these data by percentage or absolute number by clicking the buttons towards the top right of the page. From the Edit Comparison menu, you may also select the performance indicators that you would like to see in this custom comparison. Performance indicators will be displayed for each region selected in a series of spark lines below the bar chart. Next, we want to show you the Custom Region Builder tool. This is a powerful feature on the U.S. Cluster Mapping website that allows you to create your own economic areas out of individual U.S. counties and generate a region dashboard populated with data for your custom region. You can build this region out of any set of counties in the U.S. This is a particularly valuable tool for analyzing a region that does not fall into one of our preset region types as defined by the Bureau of Economic Analysis, such as a congressional district or a specific economic development district. As you see here, we are on the region's landing page. As you scroll down, you will see a large button that says Build and Explore a Custom Region. When you select that, it will prompt you to log in with your username and password. Once you log in, you will be directed to the Custom Region Builder. Please wait until the map loads. The Loading Data message will disappear when the map is ready. As you scroll down, you will see a map of the U.S. Start by selecting a set of counties that will appear in pink and show up in a pop-up box. The map will zoom in around your initial selection, and the names of the counties selected will appear in a box on the right. Click on a county a second time to remove it from your selection. You can also select counties located in other states or across borders. As you click on each county, the map will automatically expand and zoom out to allow you to view all of your selected counties. Once you are satisfied with your selection, click Save and type in any name for your region. Once you click Save, a loading bar will appear on the screen. You will be directed to your user profile page once your custom region has been built. This step may take a few seconds to a few minutes depending on the number of counties you have selected. Once you have been redirected, a link to your custom region will appear on your user profile page. This custom region dashboard will not be made publicly available, but will be saved in your user profile with a permanent URL that you can revisit and share with others. Your custom region dashboard contains the same features as one of the standard region dashboards on the site. The exception is for sub-state data, as your region contains data specific to the set of counties you selected. As you see here, we are looking at my custom region dashboard. The data is still processing on the map that we have made. For any other questions, please contact us at cmp@hbs.edu. Thanks, and enjoy the Custom Region Builder.